Hey, Harvest Ridge, this is Pastor Jed. And this Sunday marks the beginning of Advent. Last week we were reminded that God loved the world, and so he gave Jesus to us. That God loved, and that love was expressed in the gift of Jesus. But there was a time in which this gift had not yet been given. And so Advent brings us to the place of waiting and longing and hoping and praying and expecting God to show up and to produce the gift, to provide the gift of salvation in Jesus. And so as a church, we're entering in this season. We're going to be looking at the question, who is your king? Who is your king, and is it Jesus? I wanted to ask you the question, when's the last time you invited someone to church? Because Advent is the perfect season to invite someone. During our staff meeting, one of our staff members said that she dropped her kid off for an overnight, and it was Saturday, and so when she went to go pick up her kid to bring them to church, the offer was made that they could just skip church, and she said, no, church is so important that we go every week. And so I want to thank you for your commitment of coming to church, of investing in your faith, of supporting what God is doing here at Harvest Ridge. But I also want to encourage you to think of people that you can invite to experience the good news of Christ. This Sunday, we're also going to be getting a testimony of what God is doing through the ministry of Harvest Ridge and how we're encouraging and blessing True Light Ministry. Nancy's going to be sharing about what God's doing, and we have an opportunity to celebrate how God is using this church to encourage another church. We're also going to have the opportunity to celebrate the fact that we're being strengthened and we're being blessed and we're being encouraged by our True Light partnership. Right after church, Pastor Mark is leading a meeting, it's a luncheon, in which we look at the next steps in which Harvest Ridge will explore a relationship with True Light Ministry. There are some really big things, really exciting things on the horizon. It's going to require a lot of prayer, a lot of planning, and some execution. And we want to go into this fully prepared for what God has for us. And so if God's tugging on your heart to get outside the walls of this church and to give the way that God gave, if God is calling you to step outside your comfort zone, maybe to be involved in the inner city, we want to invite you to come to that meeting, to listen to what God has done in this last year, and to pray about considering joining what God's going to be doing in 2013. Again, we're launching a huge season, Advent, Who is Your King? I'll see you Sunday, and please show up for the Compassion, Justice, Mercy meeting after church. It's going to be a great Sunday.